In a world filled with distractions, pressures, and the constant noise of external expectations, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters: the cultivation of our own character and the mastery over our own actions. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that our primary focus should always be on ourselves, our thoughts, our responses, and our ability to maintain inner peace despite external circumstances. The idea of focus on you until you win reflects this central tenet of Stoicism, that we are not in control of the world around us, but we have absolute control over how we respond to it. The Stoic approach emphasizes that we cannot always dictate the events that happen in our lives, nor can we always predict or control the actions of others. But we can control our own minds. The key to true success in life, then, is not in gaining the approval of others or chasing after external achievements, but in focusing on becoming the best version of ourselves. This idea is encapsulated in the Stoic practice of self-reflection and continuous improvement. By focusing on our own virtues, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we cultivate a mindset that can navigate the trials of life with equanimity, regardless of what happens in the world. The Stoics viewed external success, wealth, status, or fame as fleeting and largely outside our control. What they did believe was within our control was our response to these things. In their view, true winning in life doesn't come from achieving worldly success, but from cultivating an unshakable inner peace that is immune to the chaos of external events. This doesn't mean Stoics shun ambition or achievement. Rather, they argue that our pursuit should be inward-focused. The cultivation of virtue and wisdom is the true victory. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and a Roman emperor, wrote in his Meditations that we should focus on your own work and be at peace. He believed that peace could only be found by focusing on our inner thoughts and actions, rather than on the endless race for external validation. What happens to you is not as important as how you respond to it, he would argue. Focusing on yourself means understanding your emotions, mastering your desires, and resisting the urge to be swayed by temporary feelings or external events. It means setting aside the noise of the world and tuning in to your own inner compass. This is not an easy task. Modern society constantly bombards us with messages that we need to be more, have more, and do more to be considered successful. But the Stoics would argue that true success comes from realizing that all of those things are not what define us. Rather, our character, how we handle adversity, how we treat others, and how we grow from challenges, defines who we truly are. In the practice of focusing on yourself, there's also a component of self-discipline. The Stoic philosophy encourages us to prioritize long-term values over short-term gratification. The pursuit of pleasure, wealth, or other transient goals can distract us from what is truly important: living a virtuous life. In this context, winning isn't about immediate rewards, but about living a life that reflects wisdom and integrity, even in the face of difficulty. In order to truly focus on yourself, you must learn to accept the things you cannot control, and dedicate yourself to improving those areas where you can make a difference. This takes practice, and requires a level of humility and self-awareness. A Stoic does not view themselves as perfect, but as someone who is always in the process of becoming better. Every day presents an opportunity for growth, and it is through these small daily victories that we win in life. Another important aspect of focusing on yourself, according to Stoicism, is understanding the importance of boundaries. In an age where people often feel the pressure to be available to everyone at all times, Stoicism reminds us of the necessity of knowing when to say no. We must protect our energy and time, as they are finite resources. By focusing on ourselves, we understand the value of guarding our attention and directing it towards things that align with our values, rather than being constantly pulled in every direction by others. Focusing on yourself also doesn't mean ignoring others or living in isolation. Rather, it means acknowledging that your ability to help others is rooted in your own well-being. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you are constantly running on empty, always trying to please others or seeking validation from external sources, you will eventually burn out. Stoicism teaches us that the best way to contribute to the world is by becoming the best version of ourselves, by being emotionally resilient, mentally clear, and compassionate. Moreover, when you focus on your own growth, you are better equipped to handle the inevitable setbacks that life will throw your way. These challenges, rather than being seen as failures, are opportunities for learning and development. In this way, focusing on yourself doesn't mean avoiding hardship, but rather facing it head-on with the resolve to grow stronger through it. When you embrace the Stoic mindset, you begin to see obstacles not as impediments to success, but as opportunities to practice virtue. The Stoic practice of journaling is one of the most powerful tools for focusing on yourself. By writing regularly, you can reflect on your day, your emotions, your actions, and your reactions. This practice encourages you to examine your inner life, to question your thoughts, and to evaluate whether your actions align with your values. It's a way of tuning into yourself and making sure that your life is being directed by reason and purpose, rather than being shaped by the whims of external events. To focus on you until you win means to dedicate yourself to personal growth with relentless commitment. It means creating a life where your actions are not determined by the opinions of others or the success you accumulate, but by your adherence to virtue and wisdom. It requires the strength to endure hardship with grace and to continue striving, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. This is not an easy path, but it is one that offers a kind of success that cannot be taken away by external forces. In the end, the Stoic vision of winning is not about fame, fortune, or accolades. It's about the quiet triumph of living a life of virtue, of mastering oneself, and of finding peace amidst the inevitable storms of life. To focus on yourself until you win is to